Imagine a single tablet, no larger than a breath mint, dissolving on a tongue in the shadowed alleys of Beirut. It promises clarity, courage, a fleeting godsend for the weary fighter or the sleepless scholar. But as the rush fades, so does the veil. Families fracture, fates falter, and fortunes fuel flames that consume from the core. This isn't pharmacology's gift. It's poison's prelude. A pill so small it fits in a child's palm, yet potent enough to unravel the ummah's tapestry. 1.9 billion threads, woven across continents, now fraying at the seams. Welcome to Death of Nations, where we dissect the quiet corrosives that dissolve dominions. If one dose can ignite addiction in 2 million souls yearly, what cascade shatters the soul of civilization? By the end, you'll stare at your own reflections and question, is the shatterer in the syringe or the silence we ignore? For over a millennium, Islam has endured as the ummah's unyielding bond, a brotherhood transcending borders, bound by the Quran's cadence and the Hajj's horizon. From the Prophet's Medina to the Ottomans' reach, it was a faith that forged empires, with the add-in called not just a prayer but a purpose. The 20th century tested the weave. Colonial carve-ups, secular storms in Turkey, socialist experiments in Algeria. Yet the illusion held, resilience as revelation, the community as colossus. Post 9/11, the narrative sharpened. Islam under siege from without, uniting the faithful in defiance. Mosques multiplied in the West, remittances flowed from Gulf oil, and FOCAC summits echoed pan-Islamic solidarity. The ummah, we were told, was unbreakable, a global garden where diversity bloomed under one crescent moon. But beneath the minaret's glow, a shadow stirred, a chemical whisper born in labs, spreading through veins. The first fissure wasn't ideological, it was ingestible, and in that subtlety, the story we cherished begins to dissolve. The impact detonates with this. Captagon phenethylline, that innocuous amphetamine cousin, floods a Muslim world at $10 billion annually, addicting 2.5 million users, predominantly youth, and funding conflicts that claimed 500,000 lives since 2011. Syria's factories, under Assad until his 2024 fall, churned 500 million pills yearly, enough to circle the equator twice, exported via Hezbollah to Saudi, Jordan, and beyond. Seized in 2025? Over 1.5 million in Yemen alone per Anag. But that's the tip. The trade sustains militias, from Houthis to HTS, turning jihad into a chemically induced haze. Lebanon? 2025 raids uncovered labs producing 10% of global supply, addiction rates at 15% among 18-25S, eroding the resistance ethos into ruin. The bomb buries deep. This tiny pill isn't vice, it's venom, corroding health, heart failures up 40% in users, economies $5 billion loss in productivity, and piety, mosques empty as addicts wander. But if the fracture starts small, what inversion waits in the wreckage? We view Captagon as street scourge, a trafficker's trinket, Assad's side hustle. Invert the lens. It's the symptom of a faith-silent schism. Born in 1960s Germany as a focus aid, phenethylline was halal enough for early users, no alcohol, just energy for the devout. By the 1980s, it morphed in Syrian labs. Captagon branding evoking captain strength for fighters in Lebanon, then Iraq. The flip, not external enemy, but internal alchemy. A jihad pill prescribed for piety, but peddled for profit, turning warriors into wrecks. 2025's post-Assad Syria, fragmented factories under HTS control, output down 30%, but still 300 million pills per Stimson Center, fueling Yemen's Houthi drones and Sudan's RSF atrocities. The mind turns. Addiction is an accident. It's architecture, a chemical caliphate, binding bodies while breaking bonds. The inversion etches. Salvation sought in stimulants becomes a shatter. But in that turn, a tempo tolls, the cadence of corruption calling from the cradle. Breathe. Hear the refrain? From opium dens in Ottoman Istanbul to Captagon carts in Damascus souks, the faithful's fire has long been fed by forbidden fruits. The rhythm? Promise of power, price of perdition. But how does this elixir entwine the addict to the arsenal? The veins converge in the vice's vicious circuit. Begin with the bazaar. Captagon's $10 billion trade. Per UNOC 2025, links Lebanese labs to Saudi streets. 80% of seizures in Jordan from Syrian routes. Funding Hezbollah's $500 million annual haul. Link to the line. In Yemen, Houthis seized 1.5 M pills in July 2025, but produced their own. Captagon cash buys Iranian drones per Rusi, perpetuating the Red Sea blockade. The Mesh, Sudan's RSF 2025 Civil War butchers, traffic Captagon from Darfur labs, addicting fighters while exporting to Egypt. $200 million yearly per New Lines Institute, arming atrocities that displaced 10M. Connect to the core, post-Assad Syria. 20 seizures by March 2025 under HTS, but production fragments to 10 labs, output steady at 200 M pills. Per CTC West Point, the drugs a glue holding militias, from IS echoes to Brotherhood fringes. The Bond, from pill press to proxy war. Captagon caches of chaos. Addiction in Amman, 15% youth rate. Funds Fatah al-Sham in Idlib, a cycle where the faithful's frailty finances a fracture. But the profound pivot? This commerce of collapse was never chaos. It was calculus. We decry the dealers, Assad's ghost factories, Hezbollah's heroin highways. Reverse the reckoning. The pill's a product of piety's perversion. Captagon's Captain Myth, marketed as Islamic energy, halal wrapped for mujahid, but laced with the ummah's unspoken sins. Usury in the Gulf, corruption in the Crescent. The Turn, Syria's 2024 fall fragmented the trade, but empowered it. HTS labs in Idlib churn 50 M pills quarterly, per Sofan Center, exporting to fund Caliphate 2.0. Lebanon's 2025 raids, 20 tons seized, but political clans shield suppliers. Addiction at 20% in Bekaa, eroding the resistance to rubble. The Cataclysm, Jordan, Syria packed January 2025 to curb smuggling, breached by April, with 100 tons intercepted but billions flowing. The drug devours devotion, turning mosques to methadone clinics. The reversal resonates. The shatterer isn't the stranger, it's the self. Fate's fortress fortified with frailty, with a call to arms calls forth the chemist. The ire ignites, but let's lend it light. The wound weeps, a world of worship warped by a whisper of white powder. Sense the sorrow of the Syrian mother, son lost to the rush that promised resolve. The Jordanian youth, veins veined with venom that vitiates virtue. It's the quiet fury of a faith betrayed, where the add-ins call contend to the addicts crave. Yet, let the lament forge focus. This is not defeat, but diagnosis, a call to cauterize the cut. The gravity grips gentler. The pilgrim in Mecca, prayer mat stained with the sweat of withdrawal, whispering supplications to a God grown distant. The scholar in Cairo, scroll silent as the streets fill with the hollow-eyed. The fighter in Yemen, hand steady on the trigger, but soul adrift in the afterglow. Let the lapse linger. The pill's not poison. It's the mirror, reflecting the rifts we refuse to face. If one tablet can topple the ummah's towers, what hidden high holds your faith? Share. Which tiny pill, literal or metaphorical, shatters your world most? Civilizations shatter not in schism shout, but substance's subtle siege. Realms reduce to remnants in the relay of rush and regret. The ummah's mosaic, once mended by mercy, now modeled by the mundane made monstrous. Heed the hush of the hollow, before it hushes the heart. This is death of nations, probing the fissures before the fall. Like if the mirror moves you, subscribe to mirror the next murmur. Until the dose dissolves, discern.